Hello, everyone, and welcome back to One Big Question presented by ProMed Consultings. Did you know that peptides, these tiny chains of amino acids, have been quietly revolutionizing medicine, skincare, and even fitness for nearly a century? Today, we're diving into how these microscopic molecules are shaping some of the biggest trends in health and wellness.
Oh, I love this topic already. Peptides are everywhere these days, from anti-aging creams to supplements claiming to boost muscle growth. But what's really fascinating is how they've gone from being a scientific curiosity to a cornerstone of modern medicine.
Exactly. And it all started with insulin, the first peptide ever synthesized in a lab. Back in the 1920s, scientists figured out how to create this 51 amino acid peptide. And it completely changed the game for people with type 1 diabetes. Before that, managing diabetes was almost impossible.
That's such a pivotal moment in medical history. And what's even more impressive is how far we've come since then. Today, peptides are being used to treat everything from osteoporosis to type 2 diabetes. And there are more than 100 FDA approved peptide drugs on the market.
Right, and what makes peptides so unique is their versatility. They're essentially short proteins, but because they're smaller, usually between 2 and 100 amino acids, they can be more targeted in how they work. For example, some peptides are designed to mimic natural hormones, while others can stimulate specific cellular processes.
And that's why they're often considered safer than traditional drugs. When your body breaks down peptides, the byproducts are just amino acids, which it can recycle. That's a huge advantage because it reduces the risk of harmful side effects.
Exactly. Plus, peptides are naturally occurring in the body, so they're not introducing something foreign. It's more like giving your body a little extra of what it already knows how to use. That's why they're so popular in skincare and supplements too.
Speaking of skincare, collagen peptides are probably the most well known. Collagen is one of the main proteins in our skin, muscles, and connective tissues, but as we age, our bodies produce less of it. That's what leads to wrinkles, sagging skin, and even weaker bones.
Right, and collagen supplements have become a go-to for people looking to combat those effects. But here's the thing. Your body can't absorb whole collagen. It has to be broken down into smaller collagen peptides, also called hydrolyzed collagen, to be effective.
And those supplements come in all forms: pills, powders, you name it. But it's not just about skin and joints. Studies have shown that collagen peptides can also improve bone density, especially in postmenopausal women. That's a big deal for preventing osteoporosis.
Absolutely. And then there are copper peptides, which are like the overachievers of the peptide world. Not only do they help with collagen and elastin production, but they also act as antioxidants and repair skin damage. Some studies even suggest they can promote hair growth.
Oh, copper peptides are fascinating. They've been used in face creams, serums, and even hair products. But did you hear about the FDA banning copper peptide injections recently? Apparently, there were issues with impurities in the liquid form, which caused immune system reactions in some people.
Yeah, I read about that. It's a good reminder that while peptides can be incredibly beneficial, they're not without risks, especially when they're not regulated as strictly as they should be. That's why it's so important to consult a doctor before trying anything new, whether it's a supplement or a skincare product.
Definitely. And speaking of risks, there's this whole category of synthetic peptides called growth hormone secretagogues, or GHS. They're marketed for muscle growth and fat loss, but they're not without controversy. For one, they're on the World Anti-Doping Agency's banned list, so athletes can't use them. Plus, they can mess with your body's insulin sensitivity and blood sugar levels.
So that's a big red flag. It's one thing to take a supplement for general health, but when you're messing with your body's hormonal balance, you're entering dangerous territory. And the fact that these are banned for athletes should tell you something about their safety profile.
Exactly. But on the flip side, there are peptides that are FDA approved and have been thoroughly researched. For instance, there are peptide drugs for conditions like osteoporosis, type 2 diabetes, and even HIV. These are tightly regulated and have gone through rigorous clinical trials, so they're a lot safer.
That's a good distinction to make. FDA-approved peptide drugs are a far cry from the over-the-counter supplements you see at health food stores. And while some of those supplements might have benefits, the evidence is often limited and the claims can be exaggerated.
Totally. And let's not forget that supplements aren't tested by the FDA before they hit the market. So, there's always a risk of contamination or mislabeling. That's why it's so important to do your homework. Research the company, look up the active ingredients, and be skeptical of claims that sound too good to be true.
And always talk to your doctor before starting any new supplement, especially if you're pregnant, nursing, or have a medical condition. It's just not worth the risk.
Agreed. But it's not all doom and gloom. There are some really promising uses for peptides, especially in areas like bone health and hair growth. For example, collagen peptide supplements have been shown to improve bone mineral density in postmenopausal women. And then there's follitin, another peptide-based serum that can help with hair growth.
Yeah, and the fact that peptides are naturally found in so many foods is another plus. Meat, fish, beans, lentils, soy. These are all great sources of amino acids, which your body can use to make its own peptides. So you don't necessarily need to rely on supplements.
That's a great point. And it goes to show that a balanced diet can go a long way in supporting your body's natural processes. But for people with specific needs, like athletes recovering from intense training or older adults dealing with bone loss, peptide therapy can be a valuable tool.
Absolutely. But like with anything, it's all about balance and making informed choices. Peptides are powerful, but they're not magic. They're just one piece of the puzzle when it comes to health and wellness.
Well said. So, what's the takeaway here? Peptides are versatile and have a lot of potential benefits, but they're not a one-size-fits-all solution. Whether you're looking at them for skincare, muscle growth, or medical treatment, it's crucial to do your research and consult a professional.
Exactly. And remember, just because something is natural doesn't mean it's automatically safe. Peptides have a lot of promise, but they need to be used responsibly.
Couldn't agree more. Thanks for diving into this with me. It's such a fascinating topic.
Anytime. It's always fun to nerd out about science with you. Let's do this again soon.
Definitely. Take care.